I'm back. Finally figured out that little cave for all my people that's gonna be joining in. Let me turn this music down before I get flagged by YouTube. Figured out that little cave for all my people that's gonna be joining in. Down before I get flagged by YouTube. I probably done already got a copyright strike. This fucking website. Yeah, I finally figured out that cave. What I had to do was go through it and find 2 sticks of dynamite. And now I have to find this girl in this other cave here. And I think I'll get a little bit closer. Kind of took me a while to figure out this shit. This fucking teleporting shit is kind of reminding me that shit off of Pokemon Yellow. But I'm about to continue this on and see how much further I can get. Continue this on and see how much further I can get. These spinners are not really a tough enemy, but it's another enemy that looks like them. And like literally 2 hits, they can wipe out their whole party. Spinners are not really a tough enemy. Things are a nightmare. They're kind of like the werebat in the first one. Kind of like the werebat first one. God, I hope I can figure this out because I feel like I'm getting closer. I got to admit, this game is a lot harder than most normal RPG games. I mean, this is just the first fucking cave. I can't even get through this shit. A lot harder than most normal RPG. This is just the first fucking cave. I can't even get through this shit. A lot harder than most normal. First fucking cave. Ain't shit over here. Okay, so let me see what's down here then. Oh damn! I thought that. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. I see where this led now. Let's go going back. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. How do I get down there? Man, I got to admit, they need a fucking map system in here. Maybe that's something they had in the later games, but they sure as hell needed it in this one. They need a fucking map system in here. Maybe that's something they had in the later games. I'm sure as hell needed. Okay, that's a trap. I don't need to go down there because I don't lead nowhere. Let me see. I don't know if it's gonna go so well. I mean, shit, this fucking cave is like, it's like being stuck in the fucking the Winchester mystery house. Like this shit is ridiculous. It's like being stuck in the fucking Boy, Alex, what's going on, man? The Winchester mystery house. Like this shit is ridiculous. What's going on, man? At least we making progress. I got through the first one that I streamed the other day. This is the second one. I'm supposed to find some girl in here. At least we making progress. I got through the first one that I streamed. I feel like I'm making some progress though. This is the second one. I'm supposed to find some girl in here. I feel like I'm making some progress though. It's like shit. What kind of cave is this to have a bunch of wasps and bees and shit flying around? Yeah. What kind of cave is this to have a bunch of wasps flying? Okay, that's a dead end. Oh no, my warrior, I'm a melee. Buck could carry a shotgun, and my maid, she only could carry this brick basically. Actually, no, I could carry a shotgun too, but the weapon I have does just as much damage as the shotgun. Shotgun too, but the weapon does just as much damage as the shotgun. I mean, as y'all can see, I got a lot of currency right now. I got about $16,000, so that was much more than what I had before. So I can pretty much purchase any weapon.
Now I got about $16,000. So those are much more than what I had before. I could pretty much purchase any weapon. I got $16,000. So those are much more than
All right, let's try to figure this out. For some reason, I feel like I'm back on the first floor. Uh, let's try. I don't think they'll know this. This isn't the first floor. This is another floor. Okay, we're making some progress. Okay, here we go, y'all. Here we go. Save it right here.
okay, here we go, y'all. Here we go.
I knew I was supposed to find some girl in here.
Save it right here. Okay, here we go. I knew I was supposed to find some girl in here.
Who the fuck is Durham? I think Durham is that J. I didn't show it in the beginning, but it was like some motherfucker in this tunnel that looked like Jason Voorhees. And, you know, of course, he was the popular guy in the 80s. This game was made in 1989, so they just made him an enemy. So, but that's who I think Durham is. He's supposed to be a guy holding bitches for ransom, I guess.
The popular guy in the 80s. This game was made in 1989, so they just made him an enemy. So, but that's who I think Durham is. Supposed to be a guy holding bitches for ransom, I guess.
think I'm safe to get out of here now, because I hope it ain't shit else I gotta explore.
Yeah, I think I'm safe to get out of here now. Because I hope it ain't shit else I gotta explore.
Alright, let me just teleport out of here before it's too late and fuck around and die.
Just teleport out of here.
Oh, I didn't know he knew rest. That's cool. Yeah. Might as well stay in here a little longer then, maybe.
Oh, I didn't know he did this.
I don't think it's anything else I need to get in here, so.
I don't think it's anything else I need to do. So.
I think I could get up out of here.
Get up out of here.
Alright, fuck it. Let's get out of here. Yes, I did have to use a guide. Of course, not a booklet strategy guide. I had to look at somebody's walkthrough to kind of just figure that out a little bit. But yeah, I did use the guide. I mean, you got to use this. You got to use a guide, honestly, to even know what type of weapons you have in here, what the capabilities of them are, who can carry what the damn potions are, like we were discussing in the last chat. Yeah, you got to really use a guide for these kind of games. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like the newer RPGs where you can kind of just figure it out on the fly. Like, you gotta really use a guide for this shit. Fucking, you gotta draw maps and do all that shit.
You got to really use a guide for these kind of games. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like the newer RPG. You can kind of just figure it out on the fly. You got to really use a guide for this shit. But you got to draw maps and do all that shit.
Yep, this is how the olden days were. You had to actually fucking use your brain. And I mean, really use it. It's like you couldn't even get out of school, basically.
Yeah, how the olden days were. You had to fucking use your brain. It's like you couldn't even get out of school, basically.
These type of video games, the kids today wouldn't even really enjoy, to be honest. They'll look at this like it's schoolwork. Like, what? You mean I have to draw things in a 3-dimensional prism? This is geometry all over again.
It's like it's Hey, how about the drop these in a three-dimensional prism? About $2 prism.
Oh yeah. Those were the days. But I gotta admit, I'm glad we don't have to rely on strategy books and all that shit anymore. I mean, watching somebody's walkthrough is just a lot more pleasant to try to figure a game out than having to use a strategy guide. Because I mean, on those strategy guides, I remember they would say go northeast and go southwest and all this shit, like as if you were, using a fucking compass and stuff. But it's like what they were saying in position to what you were dealing with in the game, it was like different. So that shit just it didn't work, man.
But it's like what they were saying.
It's like you just kind of needed to see somebody's like walkthrough to kind of see exactly where to go. Because as y'all saw with that fucking with that map, man, it's like everything looks the same. So it's kind of hard to tell where you are, what floor you on, and sometimes you just got to be playing it over and over to kind of remember where you are. But I can only imagine how people back in the day figured this shit out. Like I said, they had to be some real. But then again, they didn't have the internet and social media and all that shit distracting them. So people had more patience back then.
Media and all that shit distracting them. They had more patience back then.
Man, 17 grand. But shit was just that easy to get 17 grand in real life. Like, I mean, could you imagine that if an RPG game was like in real life? Like, imagine if you went out in fucking in public, or you went outside, and all you had to do was just stomp a bunch of worms and swat a bunch of bees and flies, and you'll get $300, $200 to quit $60 for each fly that you swat. Man, that'd make life so much better. That'll rise inflation, but shit'd be so much easier.
$60 for each fly that you swat. Man, that'd make life so much better. That'll rise inflation. Be so much easier.
Beat by some dynamite. That don't even sound like some shit that I would want to even heal myself with. The fuck is that?
That even sound like some shit that I would want to heal myself.
Dude, I would walk around with a fucking AR all day and just massacre bees and fucking flies for like a living. I wouldn't even have like I said, I wouldn't even work. Like, I would literally just massacre a bunch of bees and flies, and I would be a millionaire by the end of this week. I wouldn't even have like I said, I wouldn't even work. Like, I would literally just massacre a bunch of. And then like let's say if you killed like a fucking let's say if you killed like a snake or some shit like that, if you ran into that, then you'll get like a extra $500 or something, like how you get in this game. Man, are you kidding me? I'll be out here fucking like Steve Irwin, just jumping on anything that moves and killing everything. Boy, I would be a fucking millionaire by the end of the week. Kidding me? I'll be out here fucking like Steve Irwin, just jumping on any. Won't even know what the hell going on. We interrupt this evening to tell you that there's been a decrease in bees and worms in the area. There's been a known nigger with dreadlocks who has been going around with an AK. If you find this guy, please contact your local authorities immediately, and we will have an arrest for this bastard. There's been a known nigger with dreadlocks who's been going around with an AK. Find this guy, please contact your local authorities immediately. We will have an arrest for this bastard. But then again, I made so much money that hell, I could just pay the cops off to leave me the fuck alone. But then again, I made so much money that hell, I could just pay the cops off to leave me the fuck alone. Man, that'll make life so much better if that's how it was. If life was like an RPG game. So much better. Hell, it's even amazing how, like, even in this journey, that the female was disciplined enough the whole time to go with them. I mean, just think about it. Like, she was actually fighting with them the whole time. She wasn't complaining. Like, this life, it's like, man, this life in this society is like amazing. It's almost like a utopia. I mean, just think about it. She was fighting with them the whole time. She wasn't complaining. Like, you gotta think about it. It's like that. Every RPG game has a white mage, which usually is a female. So, man, it's like. But then again, some of these stories, like in Final Fantasy, the females were like, you know, from like back in historical times and shit. So, I'm pretty sure if her husband died and you know, and she had didn't have a son or something like that, then it probably wouldn't be a big deal for her to go on this journey to fight, you know, and become whatever, a sorceress or whatever. Husband died and you know, and she didn't have a son or something like that, then it probably wouldn't be a big deal for her to go on this journey to fight, you know, sorceress. Didn't have a son or something like that. I think I'll be all right. I'll sit here naming this thing crazy stories. I ain't told y'all a crazy story. I've been so caught up trying to figure out where to go. I had something in my mind before I had got in the stream. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like I think I was gonna have something to do with, like, it was gonna be related to like work stories. Yeah, like oh yeah, like the cleaning business. Yeah, I never really told y'all too much about like the stuff I've dealt with in that. Like, yeah, man. Honestly, man, if you could do a cleaning business, you could do any business that's out here in the world, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. You could do any business out here in the world. the way that works, basically, like, um, you gotta have, like I said, you gotta have like kind of some money in that. Like, you gotta have enough money to have a staff of people, and basically you could go into any little commercial facility and propose a bid where you maybe could get it for, like, you could get a building where you only cleaning like 2 nights a week. You could be getting like $900 a month out of that, and you might only be in there for like maybe an hour or two, maybe 45 minutes. But I remember just through my experience of doing this stuff, like I had to kind of learn my do's and don'ts and not how to get ripped off, and and dealing with certain things. I remember one crazy story with that. I remember it was this one house I had to clean, and it was like kind of weird because when I had went in there, like the whole like house didn't have electricity. And sometimes you go in some of these properties and they won't have any electricity or water in them. And it was during the summertime. This was in August. Um, Somebody had just gotten evicted, like I think like months before that. So usually during those evictions, they leave everything behind. I mean, some people just literally just only get like a few little items and everything is left. But they had left all their food and stuff in the freezer and the refrigerator though. And then I think I had when I had to clean this property, this was the first time anybody had been in this house in months. And I just remember when I had first came in there, I saw like a whole bunch of like like gnats and stuff like flying around. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like this seemed a little bit more than normal. I mean, I know it'd be gnats and shit around, but not like this. Oh, and then man, oh my God, I had fucking opened the refrigerator, y'all. Literally, like this is like some shit off of Jeepers Creepers. Like I remember it was so many maggots inside this thing from it just being like a bunch of old rotten food and shit in there. That maggots were literally like falling out of the. Oh, it's starting to make my skin itch thinking about it. It was like maggots literally falling out of the refrigerator. I remember a whole bunch of flies came out, like that Venus flytrap story. It was like a whole bunch of flies that had came and swarm out. I said, "Oh shit, y'all!" I wanted to take a picture of that shit so bad, and if I could jump in my body back in that day, I would have taken a picture. Because usually when you go on these properties, you gotta take a bunch of pictures and stuff. Damn, I wish I could have taken a picture of this, y'all. Like it was literally a bunch of maggots that came falling out, and I thought I had to clean this shit. But man, I was like, man, I can't fucking do this shit, man. I said, oh man, no. And I called the contractor I was cleaning with at that time, and I told them about it, and they was like, yeah, you obviously, you might want to not deal with that, just clean around it. It was so bad, I barely even wanted to clean around it because there was so many flies around that shit. And it was funny because I remember later that day, it was a company that came and did like junk removal, and they were supposed to remove that thing. And I told them, I said, look, y'all might want to be careful, before y'all go inside there, because that thing is, got a bunch of maggots in there. And I remember it was like, yeah, whatever. And I remember they had went over there and opened it. One of the dudes had like started vomiting. And then they was just like, yeah, like we not touching that thing. Like they had literally was supposed to come and move that thing. They said, fuck that, we not touching that thing. And to this day, I have no idea how that refrigerator got outside that house. But it's no way that refrigerator could have stayed in that house. No fucking way. Like that thing literally need to go to the depths of hell. That shit was fucking crazy, man. How that refrigerator got outside the house, but it's no way that refrigerator. That shit was horrible. No fucking way. Oh, I tell y'all another story. Last year when I also did like real estate photography. For this like real estate company. So what I would have to do is like go around to these distressed properties, like once again that people had just got evicted out of, and I would have to go in there and take a bunch of pictures and stuff, and then just leave because they basically this company was based out of California, so they just would want to basically see pictures of the property to see if it was worth purchasing or not. And I remember it was this one property that I had to go to, and this guy. Now I had went to the property, it was boarded up, so what I mean, like it was a whole bunch of like. As a matter of fact, I could show y'all pictures of this fucking thing. Let, give me a minute. It was disgusting. Disgusting. It was like, well, I can't really show it. It's on my phone. I thought I had it on my computer, but basically like this property was fucked up. I remember the inside, like they had ripped out the indoor air handler unit, so it didn't have any HVAC system in there. Um, it was a bunch of holes and shit in the roof. Like it was everywhere. I remember, like I said, it was boarded up, and it was a bunch of like vines and kudzu and shit covered the house. So I'm like, it might be a snake or some shit over here. But I remember I had to rip through all that shit like I was fucking in a safari or some shit, and I had to unboard the house. And I remember when I was sitting there, trying to unnail the screws and shit. It was hard to get off. I'm like, damn, like it ain't that hard to to take off no boards and shit on the house. But it was like it was as if like in the inside somebody had like screwed that shit in. Y'all, I was literally about to fucking take apart one of the boards, and this fucking homeless dude that came out of nowhere, and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I said, "Nigga, what the fuck are you doing? You ain't supposed to be in here." But you know what's crazy? I was glad that man was there and had opened that door, because I couldn't open that door to save my life. And had he not been there, I wouldn't have even been able to get inside and take pictures of that property. And when I had went in there, y'all, it was just disgusting. It was like, cause like he was living in there. It was like a bunch of homeless, people that was living in there and shit. It seemed like all these properties I went to, it was always a bunch of like homeless folks there, cause you would see a bunch of like food wrapped and shit around, piss inside a fucking water bottle and shit, blankets and shit, like lying around, a bunch of blunt wraps and stuff. But I remember that, and I remember that dude had showed up and he scared the shit out of me if he opened that fucking door. But I was glad as hell that he showed up, because I would have never been able to get in the property. And I remember I had called the dude that had sent me on the property. I was like, nigga, like, don't you know that it was a homeless dude here? He was just like, oh shit, my bad, bro. Like it's like I swear I hate working for black people, because they always be so nonchalant about shit. But I remember this man had said that. I'm like, dude, like this man could have had a weapon. He could have had anything, I was like, I ain't have my gun with me. I was like, this shit sucks, I'm like, I was just here to get $50 for taking some damn pictures. But yeah, but that shit was fucking crazy, man. And I stopped doing that shit because I remember that was one of the properties I did. And I remember after that, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to keep doing this, because I mean, like I said, you might run into a situation, where you might have to be threatened, by some shit. So. But it was a cool little job. I remember I used to use my little drone to take the pictures, the aerial pictures, and pictures on my phone and stuff like that. But I remember I remember it was one job after that. He tried to send me to like this place called Carrollton, Georgia, and that's like damn near like an hour and a half away from where I'm at. And he was only paying me like $50 for the pictures. I'm like, dude, I'm not finna go out there with my raggedy ass car. Yeah, my old ass car. I'm like, dude, I was scared as hell at that time. That was before I had to purchase my catalytic converter. I had to pay $1,300 for that shit. I was like, man, I ain't finna drive all the way out there for that, and I ain't fucking did that shit since. As a matter of fact, the other month that guy called me to try to take some pictures for him, but I'm like, for what I'm making with the low maintenance stuff, it's kind of not even really worth my time anymore. Making with the low maintenance stuff, it's kind of not even really worth my time anymore. Yeah, Dane, all those places I went into were trap houses. As a matter of fact, one trap house that I had to actually clean a trap house one time. I remember it was me, my friend India, and it was her friend that had came with us one time. And I remember we had to clean this house. It was actually down the street from where this guy that they used to sell weed I used to buy from. And I remember we went in there. It was for this guy I used to clean properties with, and this dude used to always have some nasty ass properties. All his properties were always these Section 8 homes in the fucking hood, and they were always like a lot of work. I had to spend like 6 and 7 hours in there cleaning that shit. I'm gonna tell y'all another story about one of the properties I cleaned with him in a minute. But yeah, I remember in one of these properties we went in, it was crazy because I remember when we showed up that day, it was a maintenance guy in there, and he was just like, "Oh, y'all here to clean this?" And I was just like, "Yeah." He was like, "Shit." He's like, "Well, I couldn't do that if I was you." And I was like, "Oh man, I already know this shit finna suck." I went in there, man, that place was fucking horrible. I got pictures of all this stuff on my phone. If y'all were to just go to my Scorpio and Sebek cleaners Facebook page. I mean, all that stuff is on there, videos, all this stuff, and all that. But man, that place was horrible, 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 horrible. I remember the tub had like grime that was damn near was black. Ain't nobody ever cleaned the fucking toilets. It was bullet holes and shit, you know, like in the dining room downstairs and in the kitchen and stuff. I think I even had found like some shell casings that were around. But yeah, that place was horrible, man. Like I had to go back in there and clean that shit like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, I had definitely had to clean some trap houses. And it seemed like whenever I cleaned them, they were always right down the street from where I live at, because it's like where I live, it's a high income area, but it's borderline by a bunch of low income stuff. And on that other side, it's like that's where all the little trap houses I had to clean were, like right over there. And it seemed like the houses I ran into where it was like a bunch of homeless people basically occupying them, that was always like the houses that were towards the city. You know, when you get a little bit further out the city, you see a lot of homeless people, but a lot of them really be in hotels and shit like that. But downtown, a lot of them supposed to be literally sleeping under a bridge in the tent. It's like I used to see it every day. And I know y'all heard about the little water boys, you know, here in Atlanta. That's real. I mean, shit. I mean, to be honest, when we were younger, you know, we used to knock on people's doors and wash cars and cut their grass, pull their dumpster to the curb. We weren't doing shit as ignorant as, you know, just sitting out in the middle of the road, you know, running up to people's cars, you know, trying to you know, sell water and stuff. Like we were a little bit more business oriented than that. I mean, we were selling candy, we were selling Gatorades, we kind of did all that. I did all that stuff. We would go to Sam's Club and rack up on a whole bunch of stuff and just sell it in the neighborhood. So, I mean, it's not like what they doing is something new, honestly. It's not like what they doing is something new, honestly. Wow, you said a homeless dude stole a woman's clothes that didn't fit. Oh wow, that boy was on his animal shit. He stole her thong. Wow, you said he stole her thong. Wow, this nigga thought he was Cisco. Cisco. Let's see what's gonna happen to Tim. I'm not gonna let my father go anywhere. Hey girl, give me your money or I'll kill you. I have nothing to give to the likes of you. Or you bitch. Oh. Why does he look like Jason Voorhees to me? Oh, I see now. He's got gray hair. Why does he look like Jason? Wait a minute, that old bastard is actually a threat. Father. Killing. Tim. Oh, what have you done? This is just one of the many tragedies which have come to pass as the world falls into turmoil. Somebody must save us. Somebody must save us. But at least we know where the hell to go now. And I don't have to go through that fucking cave. At least we know where the hell to go. Damn. And yeah, and you said you live up there in upstate New York. So I can only imagine how it is in like places like in New York City. It's this guy I work with at my little cleaning job, man. He be telling me how just New York City just stinks. And I can only imagine with all them damn people and stuff. I couldn't live in all that shit. I really don't even like the city, to be honest. I like living in the country. After those years of living in Statesboro, you know, and then just, you know, growing up in Riverdale. I mean, we were close to the city and everything, but we really were in the country, to be honest. Like I said, we had backyards. Shit, I knew people that had trailers that went too far away. But the interesting thing about Riverdale is like you could be there, but if you literally go right up the street, you could see the city. So it's like it wasn't that far away, but you still in the country though. This city shit, I don't like it. Like I said, you spend way too much money. You don't really get the cost, the standard of living in which you paying for. And it's like I said, if you're not really into the glitz and glamour and shopping and all that shit, then you really don't have a purpose of being in the city. It's just honestly just more employment and job opportunities than anything. It's just honestly just more employment and job opportunities than anything. Damn. Yep. That's no different than you know, like I said, it's always the people who give the most. People who give the most and like help the most are always the ones that get hurt the most. It's no different than when you feed the cat, the homeless cat that's outside. You know, you keep feeding him and feeding him and feeding him, and then one day you decide not to feed him. Shit, he might scratch your ass. You know, that's just how it is with people. People don't want to work, either don't want to work or they mentally got some kind of illness to where they're not able to mentally process why they should be doing what they're doing, and you know they end up in the positions that they end up in. It sucks, but it's sad because nobody out here really gives a shit, and they don't have nothing really set up to help these people. Because nobody out here really gives a shit, really set up to help these people. Whose fault is that? I don't even know. Whose fault is that? I don't even know. Got a new town. Damn, there's a lot of shit going on here. Okay. Now here's another story I remember. Like I said, with that one guy, that I used to clean houses with, this dude was a fucking weirdo, y'all. Like he was fucking weird. Like he was this older black guy. And I remember I met him because I remember this lady I used to clean houses with had basically had sent me to go clean one of his vacant properties one time. And this guy basically had seen that, you know, I had my own thing going on. He basically was like, okay, I'm just going to deal directly with you because I got a bunch of vacant properties. And he stayed, like, you know, literally down the street from me. So he, ironically at this time, he had a lot of vacancies that he had needed me to clean. And I had just started the cleaning business. So, you know, I was kind of getting my foot in the door. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to, you know, take this opportunity and see what's up. But it still used to be really weird. Like, he used to always ask me a bunch of, like, weird shit. Like, you know, like, oh, yeah, he used to have like this Mr. Herbert like vibe, you know, like off Family Guy. He used to be like, yeah, you know, Chase, so you know, are you in a relationship and everything like that? And I'm like, you know, like I mean, like I said, I ain't no relationship, but like I said, I got different women I'm dealing with. Like, why, fucking you? Like I said, why the hell are you so interested in what the hell I got going on? I'm like, dude, we supposed to be doing business. All I'm supposed to be asking you is basically, when are you gonna pay me? And is this shit clean enough, so I can get the hell out of here? But he used to always be like, well, Chase, in order for us to have a good business partnership, we kind of got to have a good understanding with one another. And, he used to always be like, well, we should hang out and go to a Hawks game and this, that, and the third. I'm like, bro, like, I'm not trying to do all that shit with you. I'm just trying to get my little money, do this business, and let's go get the fuck off. And I remember, it was some weird day. Like, I remember, ironically, I was in there cleaning and shit. And then he had asked me. He was just like asking me about, like, my sexuality and if I was having sex, like, with a bunch of women, and it just was like, yeah, like, you want to make sure you stay safe, and and don't wear don't be having raw sex. And he started telling me a story about when he caught an STD and this, that, and the third. And then the icebreaker was the nigga had just came out of nowhere and was just asking me. He was like, yeah, Chase, so like, like, are you gay? I said, hell no, nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, bro, I'm in here trying to fucking paint this door and clean these windows. Like, what the fuck are you on, bro, buddy? and I mean, he said that shit, and he was like, he was like, there's nothing wrong with it. I've had some experiences myself, and but I'm like, but buddy, aren't you married? Like, this guy was married, y'all. And he always used to be telling me, yeah, and let me hurry up and, and get everything done because my wife, at home. And it almost made me kind of wonder, like, are you actually married? Like, is this imaginary wife you baking up, or is this shit real? Like, I'm like, this like some shit out of fucking, Brokeback Mountain meets goddamn The Ring or some shit. Like, I'm like, what is going on with this motherfucker? And I'm like, man, I ain't finna be, I'm like, look, I'm just about to suck this money out of this man and keep cleaning these houses as many houses he can feed me. Just keep jugging him. And like I said, you know what? I'm about to finesse the hell out of him. I said, goddamn, you know what? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we cool, yeah, woo. And then I remember I had started charging that dude like fucking $400 to clean the house. He's like I said, but these houses were filthy though. But I remember I used to charge him a lot of money to clean on houses. He always was just like, trying to be cool with me and shit. I'm like, bro, I'm like, I don't know what you on, but I'm like, buddy, you need to spend a little bit more time with your imaginary wife if this lady is real, cause you kind of pushing on the wrong idea, my guy. You kind of pushing on the wrong idea, my guy. He's coming out doing that. I don't know what he was doing, but it was weird because I remember, like I said, I never forget where I was looking, how I was looking, because he caught me off guard with that shit. But what's crazy? It was like I knew he was about to ask some shit like that because he kept asking me like about the women I was dealing with and shit. I'm like, bro, like, why are you worried about if I'm having sex raw and all this shit? Bruh, I'm like, if I come to you working, I'm not finna. I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm doing with this contract with you, my guy. The hell are you talking about? And I remember, ironically, one of the houses, I remember that he pissed me off one time because I remember he had got me to clean one house, I remember, and I never forget this day because it was the day the Falcons had played the Eagles right after they went to the Super Bowl and bombed against the Patriots. But I remember on this day, I remember it was cold as shit here in Atlanta. It was like fucking 16 degrees. God damn it. Okay. It was like fucking 16 degrees that day. And man, and I remember he had sent me to go clean one of the houses that somebody had just got evicted out of. And I remember I went in there and I remember it was like for a basic cleaning. I'm sitting here thinking I'm about to just go in here and do a basic cleaning or whatnot. But then when I went in there, I had noticed like it was a bunch of shit in there I had to kind of like take to the curb first. And then it was no hot water in the house. Hell, I don't. Yeah, it was water in the house, but it was no hot water because I think it was gas. It was hooked up to the gas, so it was no hot water in there. And if I can remember right, was it any electricity? I don't even think it was any electricity in there. I just remember it was literally 10 degrees outside that day, and it was no hot water in that fucking house, and I had to clean that shit and move all that shit out of there. And I remember this bitch ass motherfucker had showed up that evening and was in there. You know, I'm sitting here after I had cleaned all this shit. I'm seeing my hands are brittle, feel like they literally about to crack. My hands were freezing, I remember, because I had to, it's like when you cleaning this shit, y'all saw them videos, you gotta dip your hand in the bucket and all that shit, and I'm dipping in my hand in cold water, and it's 10 degrees outside, and it's no heat inside the house. And I remember this bitch ass motherfucker showed up, and was like, yeah, so, I kind of had noticed that, when you cleaned the tub, it really wasn't, it's still a few spots left, do you think you're going to be able to stay an extra 2 hours to clean? I said, bro, hell no, I'm not about to stay any extra fucking 2 hours. I'm like, and because you asked, you wanted to pay an extra $100 when I come back tomorrow, because it ain't even no fucking hot water in here. How the hell you expect me to clean this shit, man? I remember I had got paid that shit, and I was mad as hell that day, man. I got my little money and got the hell up out of there. Yeah, man, but I remember that dude was a weirdo, boy. Ooh, he was a weirdo. And mind you, I don't work with, like I said, I don't have nothing against gay people. I mean, I had to, like I said, I told y'all about my friend that had a sex change. I got a friend that went from a female to a male. I done seen a lot of guys that done turned into fucking females. I don't have nothing against them, and I'm definitely not with that shit. But at the end of the day, like, it's like the ones who be like him and like, just be like weird. I ain't gonna lie, them fuckers need to be eradicated, man. YouTube probably gonna strike my damn video for saying this shit, but I ain't gonna lie, boy, them motherfuckers need to be eradicated. YouTube probably gonna strike my damn video for saying this shit, but I ain't gonna lie, boy, them motherfuckers need to be eradicated. And I remember he was just weird. Like, I swear to God, y'all, he was like a literal black Mr. Herbert. I remember, like I said, he would always, like, be like, oh, so, like, when I would be getting ready to dip and everything like that, I wouldn't want to shake his hand. Like I said, he'll be always, like, trying to, like, dap me up and then try to shake my arm and all that shit. I'm like, nah, you ain't finna slide and do that on me, buddy. I don't give a fuck how much money you think you paying out. I'm like, buddy, I got plenty of other contracts. I do not have to subject myself to this bullshit. Fuck you think you got going on? I don't give a fuck how much money you think you're paying. I'm like, buddy, I got plenty of other contracts. I do not have to subject myself to this bullshit. Fuck you think you got going on? Yeah, but that was a weird bastard. Yeah, but that was a weird bastard. I'm like, shit, dude, you better not have your wife around me. Because at the end of the day, you sure as hell not showing her that much attention. You over here worried about going to a fucking Hawks game with me and all this shit. I'm like, bro, I don't want to go to no Hawks game with your ass. You sure as hell not showing her that much attention. You're worried about going to a fucking Hawks game with me and all this shit. I'm like, bro, I don't want to go to no Hawks game with your ass. Sound like somebody trying to start the 4th of July early over here. I just heard fireworks. I don't know if that was fireworks or gunshot. That was fireworks, because it was a spark afterwards. Sound like somebody trying to start the 4th of July early over here. I've been having fun over here in my neighborhood too. Cause since this fucking eviction moratorium just ended, it's like they've been going on an onslaught of evictions over here in my neighborhood. Like literally this week, I just pulled up to my door, and I saw like 2 police cars and like two Nemesis off of Resident Evil 3 cops, like these big ass cops that look like fucking Nemesis, just standing outside. And everybody, I saw like 2 people whose shit was just sitting out there, just like everywhere. It was crazy because the other day the dude came, and I guess some people was out there trying to steal his shit, because it was on the curb. I remember he was like, "Bro, if anybody stole my shit, I'm finna fire I'm finna fire this motherfucker up." He was mad as hell. But because of this eviction these evictions they've been having, they've been like really piling up the compact dumpster over here because it's an apartment complex. Because there's so much trash and shit over there at the dumpster, it's been bringing like a bunch of like rats. I saw like one of these rats the other day. That shit literally, I could not tell the difference between that and a fucking and a squirrel. It literally looked like a large squirrel. That thing was huge, and it's like these motherfuckers are getting fat. So I'm like, you know what? I'm about to have fun with this. I got my little BB gun. It's like a .177 BB gun, and I just been over there fucking on my damn Solid Snake doing drive-bys on them and shit. That shit has been fucking fun as hell. I need to get a different pellet gun though. Luckily here in Georgia, you can buy guns, and it's not like all these tough restrictions. You got to get fingerprinted and ID'd and seeing 10 different judges and all that shit like in other states. Like you could just buy a gun like you buying a piece of candy in the store down here. Restrictions, you got to get fingerprinted and ID'd and seeing 10 different judges and all that shit like in other states. Like you could just buy a gun like you buying a piece of candy in the store down here. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Nee, what's up? Gained you a level, baby. Okay, I need to go back to that little town first because I think I'm going somewhere I don't need to be yet. These some tough ass enemies. Okay, I need to go back to that. I think I'm going somewhere. Okay. I'm being a lazy gamer and a lazy streamer right now. The way I'm slouched, I be looking at everybody else that stream. They be sitting in their gamer chairs, fucking headsets, and I'm being a lazy gamer. They be having their microphone, they fucking lav mics and shit plugged up. You hear my lazy ass slouching on the edge of my bed, holding my microphone, playing the game like a true gamer. You hear my lazy ass slouching on the edge of my bed, holding my microphone, playing true gamer. Damn. It's a large area. I wonder if y'all heard that. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be over here just yet. I know that I gotta use the dynamite to blow that up. Okay, so I need to go back to town and I need to get some items and then go over to this cave. I gotta use the dynamite to blow that up. Okay, so I need to go back to town. Oh, that was a gunshot. That wasn't no fucking dynamite. I mean, no firecracker. That was a gun. That's the good old South for you. Gunshots and rats running around in the neighborhood. Good old South for you. Gunshots. Rats running around in the neighborhood. Like Lote Dog off of Don't Be a Menace. I love the smell of gun smoke in the morning. Like Lote Dog off of Don't Be a Menace. Love the smell of gun smoke in the morning. I think I get the other little white mage in this town. Here it is. I think I'm supposed to get the other white mage here. I think I get the little white mage in this town. Here. Get the other white mage. Shit, those gunshots might be the sound of folks trying to shoot at those rats. Maybe I'm not the only one doing that shit over here. Trying to shoot at those rats. Maybe I'm not the only one doing that shit over here. You sound like the Wild West over here. Make me want to fire my gun like, hey, pfft, stop fucking shooting. What? Pfft, what? Wild West. Stop fucking shooting. What? What? Wait a minute, she already got this. I'm tripping. She don't need that. Let me see. Let me see what my warrior. Let me see what my warrior has. Let's change maybe his armor. think that he has something that might need to be changed up.
Let me see what my warrior. Let me see what my warrior is my. Yes.
Fiber coat. Maybe that's a weak one. Maybe that's something that I could upgrade. Yeah, for both of them. The seal ribbon.
That's the
Carbon
That's
vest.
something I can upgrade.
Well, let's see how that works. I actually hear gunshots over here quite often. I think almost like at least 3 or 4 times a week. But a lot of times, you can't really discern if it's somebody getting shot at or if people just shooting in the air. You know, a lot of the times it sounds like people just shooting in the air. So it don't sound like, like a 30-second burst of shots and then you don't hear nothing. Like sometimes you'll hear them like, kind of continuously throughout the night. Now I hear a fucking helicopter and shit.
Second burst of shots and then you don't hear nothing.
You just hear that stuff because I mean, I'm near the hospital and the city, so you kind of hear a multitude of a lot of shit, honestly.
You just hear that stuff because I mean, I'm near the hospital and the city, so you kind of hear a multitude of a lot of shit, honestly. So you kind of hear most.
Same fucking thing. I don't need that. Oh. Oh yeah. Shit. Well, the good thing is at least there ain't no police swarming over here whenever they hear gunshots. So, I mean, a lot of times you hear it, it's just people just shooting in the air.
At least there ain't no,
Kids around and shit. So
whenever they hear gunshots. So
now I hear sirens. Never mind.
a lot of times you hear it, it's just people just shooting.
No, that's the ambulance. Never mind.
Kids around and shit. Now I hear sirens. Never mind. No.
Oh hell no. No, 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 no. That was a waste of money. This is a really good microphone that it's not picking up literally none of this noise. I mean, this shit is loud as hell behind me. And y'all literally can't hear a thing. That is crazy. This is a really good microphone. It's not picking up literally none of this noise. I mean, this shit is loud as hell. Y'all literally, that is crazy. Oh wow, people send them off. Y'all, yeah, I guess they're getting the 4th of July started early. This microphone is it's a it's one of those Amazon brands. It's called Bifine. It's like one of those Amazon brands. I bought it for like $38. I'm actually gonna upgrade and get a better one soon because I don't like how it echoes. You know, whenever y'all hear that weird echo effect, it's part of really the microphone. It don't really have anything to do with OBS Studio, but it's not bad though. Microphones are a lot cheaper now than they used to be. I know. I remember when I remember when I did my Unsolved Mysteries review back in the day. I had got a microphone for $10. That Unsolved Mysteries, the first one, the first part I did, that fucking shit was terrible. When I used that microphone, I was highly disappointed, and I was like, man, I'll never buy another condenser microphone again unless I'm spending about $100. But it was like years later, it's like, wow, you can actually get good microphones for like $30 now. They just have upgraded the technology. Oh wow, you said you had a Fifi mic. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I like those Audio Technica brand. That's the brand I use when I do my reviews. That's the shotgun mic I use. Audio Technica. It was that microphone's about like $60. That's the brand I use when I do my reviews. That's the shotgun mic I use. Audio Technica. That microphone's about like $60. That's one thing I haven't done is lit firecrackers in a long, long, long time. That sounds like a little 22. That's one thing I haven't done is lit firecrackers. Yeah, that sound like a little. That sound like about. That's a firecracker. Yeah, that sound like a. Oh wow, that lowered my defense. Really? Hell yeah. Yeah, fuck with that knife then. The strategy, and that's what I was telling y'all. Like the strategy guy told me that serum knife shit was actually stronger than the sword. I mean, as y'all saw, it costs more, so it would make you think that. Strategy, and that's what I was telling y'all. Like the strategy guy told me that serum knife shit was actually stronger than the sword. I mean, as y'all saw, it costs more, so it would make you think that. That's what I'm saying. Like, strategy guy told me that serum knife shit was actually stronger than the sword. Y'all saw it costs. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean for $10 more, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember we did that. Oh dang, yeah, that was funny. It was crazy because he still was sitting there like a fucking Buddhist monk, focused on his art. That's pretty cool. $10 more, that's awesome. I never forget that time when we we put that cat, that stray cat in his room. That shit was fun. No, that was you. That was you who did that. Put that stray cat in his room. I never forget that time. We put that stray cat in his room. That shit was fun. No, that was you. That was you that was you who did that. Put that stray cat in his room. Wow. She was addicted to eating air freshener and ate sand and chewed nails. I mean, I know a lot of people that used to bite their nails, but eating sand don't even. I'd rather eat dirt than sand. Wow. Sand gonna get all in your teeth and shit. That shit gonna hurt your gums. Like, fuck all that. I know a lot of people that used to bite their nails, but eating sand. And how would you eat air freshener? Don't that shit got CFCs in it and shit? Like that shit that depletes the ozone layer and shit. How would you eat air freshener? Don't that shit got CFCs in it and shit? Like that shit that depletes the ozone layer and shit. Like shit that depletes the ozone layer. Oh wow, she ate her husband's ashes. Damn, she must have really wanted him to be a part of her. Yo, they said that Tupac had his ashes smoked. So it's kind of the same thing with that. He had his ashes consumed. I couldn't eat hamburgers like that. I mean, all that meat. It's like I'm pretty sure they shit smelled horrible. So it's kind of the same thing with that. He had they probably had constipation every morning they woke up. If you ate hamburger for 4 years, or four burgers a day for 28 years, like fuck that. Damn, that's damn near as long as I've been alive. They probably had constipation every morning they woke up. If you ate hamburger for 4 years, or four burgers a day for 28 years, like fuck that. Damn near as long as I've been alive. We eat anything when we get really hungry. Apparently, sand and fingernails is what they eat here in this town. Sounds like the person you describing is from here. Hungry. Apparently, sand and fingernails. I'm a little disappointed in this town's weapon and shield selection. I thought it had something much better than what the other town had. I do know it's a mage I'm supposed to pick up here. Star Mist and Moon Dew. They smell very good. Shield selection. I thought it had something You said the cheapskate stuff. What cheapskate stuff? The cheapskate stuff. What cheapskate stuff? This town is Opta. The Biosystems lab is located in the southern part of this town. Okay, good. Whatever I need to know about that, I'll do. I'll find out. Star Mist cures your scars and Mood Deal revives your soul. Okay, that's cool. So that means I don't have to keep going and get my body cloned whenever I die. Oh wow, that's nasty. Oh wow, that's nasty. Oh wow. Damn, that shit sound like a boarding house or something. That don't sound like a comfortable living situation. Shit sound like a boarding house or something. That don't sound like a comfortable living situation. This kid says, I feel hungry. You better go kill you some bees and some worms, kid. There's no way you can feel hungry in this fucking society. No way you should be hungry or poor. Feel hungry. Better go kill you some bees and some worms, kid. No way you can feel hungry in this fucking society. Hungry or poor. Alright, where the fuck do I go? They said the Biosystems lab. Whatever the fuck that is, the south part of town. I don't see it no fucking where. The Biosystems lab. Whatever
the fuck that is, the south part of town. I don't see.
Guess I gotta go in that cave, but I know I'm supposed to have that. I'm supposed to have a girl with me before I go in there. Yeah, some people are just selfish. I mean, not selfish, but just conservative like that. That's how the Jews are. Yeah, you can see a Jewish guy. This guy have $1 billion. This man to be driving a fucking 1996 damn Plymouth Chrysler. Yeah, some people live in a damn $60,000 house that he done owned for like the last 30 years, and be eating mayonnaise sandwiches and coffee every day, but have like $1 billion. I mean, I don't blame him, to be honest. I mean, like I said, I noticed the cheaper I've been, the more money I've had. I've been having more money now than I've ever had in my life. And it's just been increasing. So definitely nothing wrong with being conservative.
So
Yep, there's nothing wrong with being conservative. Like I said, even now, like I said, I'm 30 years old. I don't give a damn if I had roommates. Like I said, when I had roommates, that was the best time of my life, to be honest. I saved a lot of money. We had fun together. Like I said, everybody got along. I don't see nothing wrong with that. To be honest, if you could cut down your overhead costs, you end up being a millionaire out here. That's your biggest expense is your overhead. You really are getting ripped off for what you paying for, because I know the little apartment I'm in now, back in 2006, somebody probably could have got this apartment for like maybe $700-800 a month, but I'm paying like $1,100. So it's like, how the hell am I paying more money for the same shit?
I know the little apartment I'm in now, 2006, somebody probably got this apartment for like maybe $700-800 a month, but I'm paying like $1,100. So it's like I'm paying more money for the same shit.
Most definitely. And then, just knowing how to do stuff yourself, that also saves you a lot of money. I'll be noticing that when I do these little maintenance mails, it's like shit. I mean, well, a lot of the stuff that I do, of course, they wouldn't be able to do it, but You could it's like for little stuff that be basic. You could charge people a lot of money for that. When I showed y'all those mails that I did the other day, on the selling to your independence videos, when I changed that disposal out, shit, I made $200 off of that. You know, when I went to the one white lady's house that I was changing out the little toilet flapper and in the toilet seat, and I had to go look at her washer valve. Like made $100. Like I said, off of basic little stuff. So yeah, knowing how to fit stuff as a guy, that's definitely something I would encourage you to do. Like to know how to work with tools and do stuff like that. You'll save a lot of money, and nobody could ever screw you over. Just because you know how mechanics and how stuff works and how pricing works, just from doing this type of business. The boy Donovan, what's up? You say you changed your own oil. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah. I done changed my own oil before. I done changed my mass airflow sensor on my car. I could literally go out there and remodel my whole car right now, but I just don't feel like dealing with it because I'm waiting on my settlement so that I can go and get me another vehicle. But yeah, it's just good to know how to do this, just do stuff with your hands. Like I remember my mom used to always say that to us, and ironically, I hated doing that kind of stuff, like fixing leaks, and like I said, that shit used to frustrate the shit out of me. But I don't know, I just kind of got a liking for it after a while, especially when I started to see like you could be independent, nobody really bothering you. You could just go fix it and make your money and go home. I just like the liberty of it. Especially when I started to see like you could be independent, nobody be bothering you. You can just go fix it and make your money and go home. Just like the liberty of it. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I always like commission jobs too. Because I've always been a good salesman because I know how to just sit and talk and market stuff all day. Yeah, I wish that's one thing I never really had as much was a commission based job where it was based on sales, because a lot of those jobs will work from home and I never really had time to do them because I was always doing other jobs. But if I had a job where all I could do was just straight sales, if it wasn't just based on the metrics of me having to abide to whatever the company is telling me I got to adhere to and all that stuff, and it's just strictly off of me making independent sales and growing my own independent business off of that, I mean, I honestly wouldn't mind it as long as they could give me the leads. If they gave me the leads and all I had to do was come up with my own script and pursue it from there, I would not mind a sales job where I could get commission. You can make a lot of money off of that. And the kind of hustle that you got to put behind that, it's not the same as running your own business. When you got to run your business, you got to literally go out here and convince people and wait on them. But with that, I mean, you more than likely are calling people that already are interested in the service or product that your company is offering. So it's just easier with that. When you got to run your business, you got to literally go out here and convince people and wait on them. But with that, I mean, you more than likely are calling people that already are interested in the service or product that your company is offering. So it's just easier with that. Oh, more crazy work stories. Also, I with this cleaning business, like I've had to clean in some pretty interesting places, like especially working in like government facilities. I had to clean in a library, and then I also cleaned for about now. I did it for about almost two years, about a year and a half. But it's this basically in every like local town you have what's called like an annex building, and in that building they basically like control all the housing authority stuff, taxes, public funding, development, community development stuff. Like all that stuff is basically like centered like in your local downtown area in these buildings. So let's say right now that Joe Biden passed a bill where basically your local area got funding for rental relief or something like that. Let's say that your local area got $30 million in rental relief. That building I was cleaning that would be the people that would manage that 30 million. So like I said, they always had all kinds of shit going on up here because like I said, man, this DeKalb County, like which is where I live at, they always got all kind of corrupt shit going on. As a matter of fact, they had a little rental forgiveness program, but they corrupted the money with this same little place I worked at. And I just remember when I worked there, y'all, it used to be crazy because on Tuesday mornings they would always have a whole bunch of like armed Call of Duty damn SWAT officers swarming the area, loaded with guns and everything, escorting like the people to these meetings they used to have. They used to always have the fucking news there and shit. Like I met a lot of people from the news just being out there, like out there doing reports and stuff. They used to have all kind of shit because they made the local laws. They governed the laws. And I remember one time it was crazy, because it was like some inmates in the DeKalb County that were getting like treated poorly, and they had like people come and riot and protest. They had came and like broke a whole bunch of glass. They had broke all the glasses inside like where the people worked at, and had spray painted fuck 12 and all that stuff like all over all the buildings and all that stuff. And I remember when after that happened, man, them folks had like super duper armed security. Like they had like 2 guards in each fucking door, like. And I remember just how when I had to clean in that building, you had to have a card to get like on certain floors in the building and shit. That shit was like top secret. It was like some Fort Knox shit. But I like that little job though. I wish I still was cleaning there now, man. I could get them motherfuckers to help me with a lot of stuff. To get to the building and shit. It was like top secret. It was like some Fort Knox shit. But I like that little job. I wish I still was cleaning there now, man. I could get them motherfuckers to help me with a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, maintenance. Yeah, they be doing that shit. Knocking on the door loud and shit. That's kind of what they got to do, because you got to think. Somebody like you could think that they get raided and they can have their gun ready, because I done had a lot of guys, that do maintenance that told me, stories when, like I said, somebody pulled out a gun on them because they thought that they were getting raided and stuff. Like no, they kind of have to knock like that to make themselves aware. They supposed to knock, say maintenance. Open the door, say hello, is anybody here? Maintenance. Say that, and then that's how they supposed to move basically. They kind of have to know like that to make themselves aware. They supposed to knock, say maintenance. Open the door, say hello, is anybody here? Maintenance. Say that, and then that's how they supposed to move basically. Should take a lot of magic power. Yeah, that's one thing I can say. That's another reason I can't wait to get ready to buy me a house in a few more years, because I can't stand these maintenance people. Because you gotta realize a lot of these guys are getting $15-$16 an hour, and they really aren't doing the independent maintenance stuff like you see me doing. Like what I have to do, I have to go in old houses and duplexes. I have to go in multiple type of properties, A lot of these guys are just working on an apartment complex where it's maybe 500 units, and even though it's old, but they pretty much are dealing with the same appliances, the same type of faucets, the same type of drains and valves and stuff. So they don't really have, much variety they got to deal with to really challenge them to really, fix the problem. But a lot of them be doing a half-ass job. I mean, it's the same where I lived at. I remember, dude, one time I came in here. My neighbor above me I guess she had fell asleep. She was drunk or something, and she had left her tub running. And dude, my entire apartment had got flooded. Like my ceiling had caved in. It was a hole in my ceiling for like a couple of weeks. They had to come and replace the drywall and all that shit. Like my entire fucking apartment was flooded. I remember that. Luckily, it didn't hit in my room. It hit when my friend Noah was living with me at the time. He was in that other room, and like I said, it didn't hit my room, but unfortunately, it hit his room and in the kitchen. And I remember that whole shit, like a whole ceiling was gone. We had to replace all that shit. It's just, like I said, the properties be old, and when stuff start failing, it don't be like it's maintenance fault, but a lot of the times, man, like I said, they don't be wanting to replace shit. Like with my oven, I remember my oven, man, they had came and fucking replaced the bake element like a million times, and finally they replaced the damn oven. But this was after like 3 years of me being in this apartment. It's like it don't even matter now because I'm about to get the hell out of here. Yeah, that happened. That happened with the toilet too. It's crazy. That my apartment has flooded 4 times like that. One time, the first time it happened, it was the same summer when I moved in here in 2018. That was when above us the water heater had failed. I don't know if it was maybe like a leak at the supply line, or if maybe the actual tank had a crack in it. I don't think they replaced the tank because I don't ever remember them like moving it down because that was on the floor above me. So I would have known if they replaced that tank. And plus, those tanks are expensive, so I know them motherfuckers didn't replace that. They probably went in there and tightened up a little supply line, put some little Teflon and pipe dope or some shit on there, and it fixed it that way. I doubt they replaced it. But I remember the first summer I was here, it happened from that. Then the next time, I remember it was when those girls above me had the first time it was with that tub, and then the next time they did it, it was a toilet that was leaking. I don't know if it was leaking at the once again at the shut off valve, or if it was leaking at the tank. That's the only 2 places it can leak. Your toilet can leak from. It can either be at the shut off valve, where your water supply comes in from whatever duplex or property you live in, or right there at that tank where that little compression nut connects to the tank. It was only 2 places. So I'm like, damn. I mean, I don't know what the hell they did for them to not notice that, but I remember when it happened. Like once again, it flooded the shit out of my apartment. My ceiling had caved in. It was fucked up. It's like I said, I think I got mold. I think I got like some mold and shit in here because on like some of my camera equipment stuff, like with my bags where I got my green screen kit and my shit that I use for that, it's like a bunch of like dust on there and it's like mold and shit. So if I get sick, y'all, make sure y'all can file a lawsuit against the Dexter if that happens and I end up dying and passing out from mold trying to live stream and make reviews for y'all. But I won't be in here long, so it won't matter. My plans are pretty simple right now for me. I'm getting ready to save my money, get in a situation, like I said, where I could be paying a third less than what I'm paying now. And then in about 2 years, I'm buying a house. I can't do this no more. I'm just going to try to save up about $40,000 so I don't have to pay any mortgage insurance, and then just buy me a fucking house. You actually would save. I didn't realize it, but after being in an apartment for 3 years and giving these folks thousands of dollars, it's like, wow, I've given these folks literally about $50,000. I could have used that to buy a house, and my mortgage ain't gonna really go up that much. And then in 15 years I can own it and never have to pay on this shit ever again. Where I never owned an apartment. I could live in an apartment for 20 years, and the minute that I don't pay them 1 month, them folks could come kick and throw my shit out here like that. I was telling y'all they did the folks the other day. It ain't no loyalty with that, so it's just better to own stuff. You don't want to be out here renting shit. years. And the minute that I don't pay them 1 month, the folks can come get and throw my shit out here like that. I was telling y'all they did the folks other day. There ain't no loyalty with that, so it's just better to own stuff. You don't want to be out here renting shit. Oh wow, that sucks. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. Like I said, like imagine if you had left it in there for months. If you had left that food in there like that for months, and let's say the power had stayed out, let's say after the city had connected everything back together, but y'all had moved out of there and then disconnected the power, and then y'all left all y'all stuff in there, and the realty company or whoever never had a trash out company come and get that stuff, and you went in there, let's say after about 4 months, it would have been like that refrigerator I was telling you about. The realty company or whoever never had a trash out company come and get that stuff. And there, let's say after about 4 months, it would have been like that refrigerator I was telling you about. Oh my god, I wish I could have shown y'all a picture of it. I remember what town it was in. I damn near remember what neighborhood. I remember how the house looked. It was interesting. I still got pictures of everything in that house because I had to take pictures, but that fridge. I'm gonna go back to that house if it's not rented or bought. I'm gonna try to sneak in there and open that fridge because I'm pretty sure ain't nobody still got that shit to this day. Only God himself would have been able to get that fridge out of there. What's crazy too is when I was telling y'all about Mr. Herbert, some of the fridges I had to clean with him were really in the same condition as that fridge. I mean, like I said, I remember having to clean them fridges with him. I would be in there in those kitchens for at least like 3 hours. Y'all remember when I showed y'all everything that I did? Like that one house I cleaned for the lady I was cleaning with last year that I showed y'all in the video. That's typically how it is when I go in those houses. In about 3 hours, I'll be in and out. I get my $200. You know, sometimes it's $150 or whatever, and I'm out of there. It really don't be that much more to it. But some of the properties I clean with him, I'll get maybe $200, but I'll be in there for like 8 hours because it'll be disgusting. But then again, at that time, I was also in my first few months starting my business, so I wasn't as experienced as I am now. Now I be knowing how to get in and out, but I still think even if I were to do it now, it would take me a long time to clean that shit. I remember what that got too, man. Like I said, the last property I had bid it with him with that was in 2019, and at that time I had just started getting into the maintenance stuff. That's why I wasn't really making as many reviews as I was during those 2 years in 2018 and 2019, because mainly I was you know, kind of like trying to get into that, and plus I really wasn't trying to like put out reviews that I thought were just gonna be filler reviews. I wanted to really put out like good content, so I was kind of holding back at that time. I already had all my resources to do it. But I remember at that time, I had he had sent me a house, and I remember I told her, I said, bro, I'm gonna come and look at it or something, but based on how your houses have been in the past, I'm starting at $400, man. I mean, he was like, whoa, that's kind of high there. I don't know why you're asking for so much. I'm like, well, you know the kind of job I could do. He's like, well, you all right. He was like, well, you know, I was looking to pay a little bit less than that. I said, hey, well, shit, you might as well go get those Hispanics. I mean, not to be racist or anything, but they the only people that's really gonna take anything less than that. I'm like, but I'm not taking nothing less than that. And I think he ended up hiring some Hispanics that he was telling me he had cleaning for him. And I ain't heard from that dude since. I mean, you know, usually people say that, you know, well, when I have something else, I'll let you know. That usually be a sign that, you know, they're gonna go on with a cheaper source so they can save their money. But that is usually how it is working with black people, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Because I got to admit, whenever I work with these white boys in this business, like these white boys that be owning these construction companies and stuff, these boys be paying. They be paying, man, because they be having a lot of money in the budget. And then on top of that, they already be having more houses and shit that's available. And then I ain't never had to do no hard work for them. Most of the little houses I clean be like for 45 minutes, but I made like $200. I ain't have to do nothing but just go in there and wipe up some dust because they were remodeled homes. They were brand new fridges, brand new countertops, brand new damn laminate flooring and shit. So I ain't have to do shit, and I was making good money with them. But it just seemed like with black people, man, you know, you always be dealing with some type of discrepancy. Fridges, brand new countertops, brand new damn laminate flooring and shit. So I ain't have to do shit, and I was making good money with them. It just seemed like with black people, man, you know, you always be dealing with some type of discrepancy. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might just be mildew. It might not even be mold. You know, in order for it to be declared mold, it technically has to be tested, where they come and cut the drywall out and sample it and do all this scientific shit and all that. And that shit costs money. It probably just some shit that you could go get some little spray get some bleach and fucking cleaning vinegar and spray it on there, clean that shit up. You get some bleach and cleaning vinegar from Dollar Tree. That's what I use. That's how I yielded a lot of money. I used to yield literally probably like 600 to 700% off of all my cleaning contracts. Like I said, I was making about $600-700 a week some weeks doing this, and only spending like maybe $10 on cleaning supplies. I was spending about $10 on cleaning supplies, yield maybe about $500 off of that, and then maybe about another $20 on gas. So my total expenses on what I was spending to make this money was about maybe $30 at the most. I was making a lot of. You can make a lot of money off of this stuff, because you don't have to spend a lot of money. That's why the cleaning business is real lucrative. You make your own cleaning supplies. Shit, like I said, I used to go to Dollar Tree, get some fucking cleaning vinegar, some bleach, some toilet bowl cleaner, some Fabulosa, some dishwashing liquid, mix all that shit together, and that shit used to clean the nastiest shit that you can even imagine by just using the right techniques. And I used to make a lot of money doing that. Probably go there and spend about $10 on all that stuff I just named, and that shit'll last me for like at least like 4 houses before I had to resupply. Made a lot of money. Spend about $10 on all that stuff I just named, and that shit'll last me for like at least like 4 houses before I had to resupply. A lot of money. Okay, I'm going backwards now. We don't need to go this way. Yes, pretty soon, Scorpio&Sebek universe, I will not be in this dominium you guys see here. Just give it a little bit more time. Y'all gonna see me in another situation, and then about a year or two after that, I'm gonna show y'all literally the process of when I will buy my house. I'm gonna move into basically a mini mansion. Remember, I said this. By the time they claim that Donald Trump is running for office again, if Donald Trump is alive and he wins the election, I'm gonna be probably looking to try to get a house around that time, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna move into basically a mini mansion. Remember, I said this. By the time they claim Donald Trump is running for office again, if Donald Trump is alive and he wins the election, I'm gonna be probably looking to try to get a house around that time, man. I'm not gonna lie. Have I found drugs? I haven't found like any like actual drugs, but I saw like, of course, paraphernalia. I would find like like little you would see like little crack pipes and mainly I would see like little crack pipes and little stuff like that. I never saw like any heroin needles and shit like that. But it be mainly those crack pipes I used to see. Especially in those properties I was talking about when I had to take those pictures. I just remember those. I just remember how in those, like, it would be like a bunch of like shit everywhere, and like you could tell like people were like living in there, and like you would just see like piss in a whole bunch of like water bottles and shit. Especially in those properties I was talking about when I had to
take those pictures.
Shit was weird, man.
I just remember those. Like it would be like a bunch of like shit everywhere, and like you could tell like people were like living in there. It's like you would just see like piss and a whole bunch of like water bottles and shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, mold comes in different variations. Sometimes you'll see it like, I usually see it when it's like kind of like green, and then next thing you know, it'll turn black. When it's like black and it's everywhere, and then you start to notice it gets dusty. That's not safe mold, because you could inhale that. But I mean, all that shit about people getting sick from mold. I mean, yeah, but I think that'll probably be after like years and years, and unless you got like some type of respiratory problems already, that's the only way I can see it affecting you. I probably done live, man, dude. I lived in a house that was like over 60 years old that didn't have no ventilation in the bathroom, and I used to see all kind of mold and shit that we used to just spray, clean up. It would come back, spray, clean up. Hell, in my closet right now, like I told y'all, shit, it was so many goddamn water leaks and shit that are happening in this apartment, and they never replaced all the drywall in the closet because they never wanted to do all that work. So I went in there and kind of mitigated it myself and just kind of cleaned up the bleach and kind of just put a little joint compound in a couple of areas and covered it up. But I noticed that still every time I go in there and clean, and then I'll come back, it'll be like those same mold spores will come back, and it's like, damn, like, because the closet door be closed, I try to keep it cracked so at least some ventilation can go through it. But it ain't like that shit's gonna kill me. I mean, I've been in here like that for the last 3 years. Yeah. I think people just be too goddamn paranoid, and and you want to make a big deal out of stuff. It's like, if you got a problem with the shit, then go buy a house. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing I remember was this white guy that told me. That's another work story I could tell y'all. I remember one day when I was cleaning these houses with this lady with this contract I had. She stayed in Arizona, and I remember the first property I cleaned with her, it was like a mini mansion. I remember, but it was a rental property, and I remember as soon as I got there, the dude was like, yeah, man, I got a newborn child, man. The last cleaner y'all had come here and you do this right, man. Y'all want to make sure y'all doing this right or whatever. I was like, bro, I don't even know what you're talking about. And I remember it was like his mother-in-law was going crazy, and she was just in there yelling at us, and then just like, y'all need to do this right. I'm about to sue the company and this, that, and the third. And then eventually I remember basically the coordinator of the company in the Atlanta district, he had showed up. And that was the first time I met him. And I remember it was just funny as hell, because he was in there, listening to him. He was like, yeah, whatever. And I remember he had to go in there and do a little turnkey painting work and stuff. And I remember he had said one of the realest things that made sense to me, that just kind of obliterated everything. Because I remember the lady was complaining. She's like, yeah, and you did a shitty paint job, and the crown molding, painting is all off, and y'all didn't do a good job. Y'all want y'all to do this over. And then I remember he was like, yeah, okay, lady, we'll do it, whatever. And I remember he came to me and he was like, if all this stuff is that much of a big deal to you, why don't you just buy a house? Why don't you just buy a house? That way you can make it however you want. You ain't got to have no cheap ass labor and all this shit in here. You can do it exactly how you want it. Ownership, baby. It beats anything in this world.
Why don't you just buy a house? That way you can make it however you want. You ain't gotta have no cheap ass labor and all this shit in here. You do it exactly how you want it. Ownership, baby. Beats anything in this world. Why don't you just buy a house? That way you can make it however you want. You gotta have no cheap ass labor and all this shit. You do it exactly how you want it. Ownership, baby. Beats anything in this world.
Yep. I say just get your money right and just own a house. That way you can make it how you want. I remember my mom used to always tell us that like it don't make sense to be renting forever. Like I mean, by the time, like I said, by the time you add up all the money you spent renting, you could have bought a house. My mom told me back in 1997 when she bought her house for the first time. Hell, my mom was damn 40 years old when she bought her first house. Hell, most of these folks, like I said, these new millennials, basically people that's like my age, like 30 and 32 and all this shit. These folks is buying houses already. Like I said, it's a couple of people that I was in middle school with. Like two of my friends I see already bought a house, and these folks ain't making no money like that. So I'm like, damn, that like I need to own some shit. These folks buying houses are. It's a people that I'm in middle school with. Like two of my friends I see already bought a house. These folks ain't making no money like that. So I'm like, damn, that you need to own some shit. Uh-oh. The mushrooms are orange. That means they're angry. Uh-oh. Mushrooms are orange. That means they're angry. Enemies are definitely a lot stronger than the last cave. I don't even need the currency. It's like, for what? Can't buy no good weapons with it. Oh, fuck. It's more of this shit. Oh. I need to do a little bit more grinding before I come in here. Like, they seem a little strong. I do a little bit more grinding before I come in here. Oh. She definitely got to get a new weapon. I can't continue this with this fucking. But I don't even know what the hell she has. But she's not able to do shit. I'm getting my ass kicked in here. I can't make it through this. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more grinding. She got one. Do I have one? Cool. Two of them actually. Alright, that's a bit. This is my health looking like. That'll be alright. Dang. Yeah, I'm gonna have to upgrade my weapons. Like some about this shit just don't seem effective.
Some about this shit don't seem effective.
All right, cool. Well, at least I know it ain't shit over here. I'm about to get the fuck out of here because this ain't looking too good. I want you to attack the whole party.
It ain't shit over here. But you attack the whole party.
Yeah, we should have massacred them. That was a hard battle. Yeah, we ain't ready right now. Get up out of here. Oh, it took me back here.
It was a hard battle.
Thought it was gonna take me to town. Good old Buck.
Good old Buck.
Damn. This game is truly about strategizing. If you don't strategize this right, you won't be successful at it. That's what I like about it. It's challenging it. It's challenging my gaming abilities, like my raw sensing gaming abilities too. I haven't been challenged like this in a while.
It's truly about strategizing.
I'm actually addicted to this, y'all. As painful as it is. And what's interesting, I've never seen anybody stream this game. I've never seen anybody stream any of the Fantasy Stars. I think I'm the first game reviewer, let alone YouTube gamer, to actually stream this.
What's interesting, I've never seen anybody stream this game. I've never seen anybody stream. I think I'm the first game reviewer, let alone YouTube gamer, to actually.
Ooh. What's funny is like when I look at this little grid during the combat mode, it's like they wanted to use the same grid shit that they had in the first one. No, actually in the first one they had a background whenever you got into combat. It actually was pretty cool. It seemed like it was a little better than this actually.
It's like when I look at this little grid.
So no, I'll take that back. But you could tell they wanted to use that same grid shit that they used in the first one when you're in the first person mode going through that cave.
Well, actually, in the first one, they had the background. They do better than. So no, I'm taking it back. You took they wanted to use that same grid shit. First one, first person mode going through the cave.
Alright, let me just go back into town. Huddle up what I can, and I have to go back into that cave. But I do know I remember seeing a walkthrough where it's like another white mage that I'm supposed to get. I'm trying to remember where I get her. I think I'm supposed to get her in town. It's the only town that's around, so I mean shit.
And I do know I remember seeing a walkthrough where it's like another white mage. Where I get her. I think I'm supposed to. The only town that's around.
Damn, look at shit. Buck need a lot of work. I guess because he's a hunter, take a lot for him to level up. What shall we name the fowl? We got 4 letters.
That's because he's a hunter. A
Oh,
lot.
mm,
Uh,
I don't know. Sega. Isn't Sega 4 letters? Sick or Mick? Cool. I think I go with sick.
say,
Mac. Sick or Mick? Cool. I think I go with sick. Luck. Oh damn. Wow, that this is actually the first memory card. I didn't know it started the whole game over.
oh damn. This is actually the first memory card.
Yeah, I'm like shit. They just kicked my ass out. Guess they said, well, you know, you don't have an actual external memory card you're using, so in order for us to save space, there you go. I know you like that Sega logo.
Yeah. Shit. Nice out.
Said, well, you know, you don't have an actual external memory card you use, so in order for us to save space, there you go. I know you like that Sega logo. Oh, isn't it an item shop somewhere? One more time, cause I feel like I need some better defense. But what my thing is, what is it though? That is useless. You could wear the fiber cape. So I'm gonna learn how to play music. And that fast. I'm a musical artist. Oh, I think the music technique is to wake me up. So it's sort of like a poke flute. Oh, I think the music technique is like a poke flute. Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. A little stopped here. So I think what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm probably gonna have to look at some type of walkthrough or something to kind of see what I need to figure out what to do next. And I'm probably gonna jump on and stream tomorrow. So appreciate everybody for joining in. Like I said, I'm a little stumped here, so yeah, we'll continue this a little later. But peace out, y'all.